Flamingo Books. Shining English Reader. Series 6. Chapter 10. 6 Sobers of Fortune. There was once a man who had served in the war, and had been brave and bold, but at the end of it he was given only 3 farthings and discharged. Full of wrath, he went into the forest, and he saw one standing there by 6 trees which he had rooted up as if they had been stalks of corn. And he said to him, "Will you be my man, and come along with me?" "All right," answered he, "I must just take this bit of wood home to my father and mother," and taking one of the trees, he bound it round the other 5, and putting the faggot on his shoulder, he carried it off. Then soon coming back, he went along with his leader, who said, "2 such as we can stand against the whole world." And when they had gone on a little while, they came to a huntsman who was kneeling on one knee and taking careful aim with his rifle. "Huntsman," said the leader, "what are you aiming at?" 2 miles from here," answered he, "there sits a fly on the bough of an oak tree. I mean to put a bullet into its left eye." "Oh, come along with me," said the leader. 3 of us together can stand against the world." The huntsman was quite willing to go with him. And so they went on till they came to a man sitting up in a tree, holding one nostril and blowing with the other. "Now then," said the leader, "what are you doing up there?" 2 miles from here," he answered, "there are 7 windmills. I am blowing, and they are going round." "Oh, go with me," cried the leader, 4 of us together can stand against the world." So the blower got down and went with them, and after a time they came to a man standing on one leg, and the other had been taken off and was lying near him. "You seem to have a hand way of resting yourself," said the leader to the man. "I am a runner," answered he, "and in order to keep myself from going too fast I have taken off a leg, for when I run with both, I go faster than a bird can fly." "Oh, go with me," cried the leader, 5 of us together may well stand against the world." So he went with them all together, and it was not long before they met a man with a little hat on, and he wore it just over one ear. "With your hat like this, you look like a jackfool." "I dare not put it straight," answered the other. "If I did, there would be such a terrible frost that the very birds would be frozen and fall dead from the sky to the ground." "Oh, come with me," said the leader, "we 6 together may well stand against the whole world." So the 6 went on until they came to a town where the king had caused it to be made known that whoever would run a race with his daughter and win it might become her husband. And the leader came forward and said one of his men should run for him. When this was quite settled and agreed upon, the leader called the runner, and strapped his second leg onto him. "Now, look out," said he, "and take care that we win." It had been agreed that the one who should bring water first from a distant brook should be accounted winner. Now the king's daughter and the runner each took a pitcher, and they started both at the same time, but in one moment, when the king's daughter had gone but a very little way, the runner was out of sight, for his running was as if the wind rushed by. In a short time he reached the brook, filled his pitcher full of water and turned back again. In the meanwhile the king's daughter, who really was a good runner, good enough to beat an ordinary man, had reached the brook, and filled her pitcher, and as she hastened with it back again she managed to trip the runner and empty his pitcher. The runner saw his pitcher empty and the king's daughter far on her way home. But not losing courage, he ran swiftly to the brook, filled it again with water, and for all that, he got home 10 minutes before the king's daughter. "Look you," said he, "this is the first time I have really stretched my legs, before it was not worth the name of running." The king was vexed, and thought of a plan. He led them into a room, which had a floor of iron, and the doors were iron, the windows had iron frames and bolts. In the room was a table set out with costly food. "Now, go in there and make yourselves comfortable," said the king. And when they had gone in, he had the door locked and bolted. Then he called the cook, and told him to make a big fire underneath the room, so that the iron floor of it should be red hot. And the cook did so, and the 6 men began to feel the room growing very warm, but as the heat grew greater and greater, and they found the doors and windows fastened, They began to think it was an evil plan of the king's to suffocate them. "He shall not succeed, however," said the man with the little hat. "I will bring on a frost that shall make the fire feel ashamed of itself, and creep out of the way." So he set his hat straight on his head, and immediately there came such a frost that all the heat passed away and the food froze in the dishes. After an hour or two had passed, and the king thought they must have all perished in the heat and went to see how they fared. And when the door flew back, there they were all quite safe and sound, and they said they were quite ready to come out, for the great cold of that room had caused the food to freeze in the dishes. The king began to think that the 6 men were not to be got rid of easily. So, he sent for the leader and said to him, "If you will give up your right to my daughter, and take gold instead, you may have as much as like." "Certainly, my lord king," answered the man, "let me have as much gold as my servant can carry, and I give up all claim to your daughter." The leader sent the strong man whom he had met first. "Who is this immense fellow carrying on his shoulder a sack as big as a house?" cried the king, terrified to think how much gold he would carry off. Finally 7,000 wagons laden with gold collected through the whole kingdom were driven up, and he threw them in his sack, oxen and all. And he hoisted it on his back and went off with his comrades. When the king saw all the wealth of his realm carried off by a single man, he was full of wrath, and he ordered his army to get the gold back. 2 regiments were soon up to them, and called them to deliver up the sack, or be taken prisoner and put in jail. "Prisoners, say you?" said the man who could blow. "Suppose you first have a little dance together in the air, and holding one nostril, and blowing through the other." He sent the regiments flying head over heels, over the hills and far away. And the king, when he got the message, learned his lesson and said, "Let the fellows be, they have some right on their side." So the 6 comrades carried home their treasure, divided it among them, and lived contented till they died.